For card number 2, you guys are going to choose a card that requires, when we go back over to the research, either average or good credit, okay? But as you start getting into the average and good credit options, you first need to decide what type of bonus features do you want. Most credit cards, as you use them, they're going to give you some cool rewards or maybe a free flight or some cash back options. Where the card number 1, starter cards, the whole point is to just establish responsible on-time payments. So they usually don't have those extra bonus features for you. But as you start getting better credit, you will start qualifying for credit cards that as you use them, they give you some cool stuff back in your life. And this is the way the credit card companies try to convince you to choose their credit card over their competitors. So here are the options of the possible categories that you guys can search for. The first one is cash back. Cash back cards, they give you literally, the credit card company will give you a check for like 1, 2, 3, or 4% of your overall purchases. So basically, when you use your credit card, the credit card company automatically knocks off a couple percent of each purchase and just gives you the cash right back to you. Balance transfer is if you're more in trouble with other credit cards and you want to transfer what you owe from other cards to a new card. We're probably going to avoid this one for our research today. Rewards, there's a bunch of different types of rewards, guys, that you can get with your credit cards that I'll go over in this drop-down list in a second. You can also find cards where the whole point is just low interest. Literally, there are certain cards where their whole purpose is just a super low interest rate, so you don't get charged crazy interest fees if you owe them stuff. There are cards that are specifically good for small businesses. We're probably going to skip that one for today. You can research cards that are just good for average credit, for building credit, which is what we just did, student. Now, the different types of rewards you guys can choose, guys, there are certain cards that give you crazy airline rewards for free flights. There's some with bonus offers that you can look at. There's some cards that try to give you a bunch of discounts on filling up gas. The whole other just reward section if you want to look at it. And then the travel cards. So you guys first have to decide which of these categories you want to try to research for card number 2. You're going to go back and select either average or good credit. And then change this from secured to whichever category you want to research. Maybe I want the 0% guys is the low APR. So maybe that's what I'm going to put down here. Then I'll go and look at some of those options. If you don't like any of those, feel free to go back and change up the category. See what some good airline credit cards look like with good credit. And once again, you'll choose one of these cards and you'll copy down if they have an annual fee, what any intro offers and this type of stuff. Make sure you guys are also clicking around to find the interest rates, which sometimes are a little harder to find as you get fancier cards. But this one has a bunch of pros and cons, a bunch of cool details that you guys will want to then go put in your card number 2 box. If you're having trouble finding the interest rate, usually right here next to each card, there is a rates and fees button that you can click, and it will take you directly to that website. And then we can sort of scroll around to look at what that APR is going to look like. Sometimes you got to really scroll. Sometimes you really got to scroll. They're trying to hide it from you. They don't want you to think about the APR, so they try to make it a little bit difficult to find. Oh, there it is at the top. So boom, there would be the APRs. And then there's the cash advance one as well. And then just like we researched last week, the penalty. But this is the one that you would need to go put in your workbook.